This is the plaintiff, Douglas Andrew Pence. He says he and the defendant, his former girlfriend, lived together, and he discovered she was also seeing someone else on the side. Once he started dating someone else, the defendant up and moved out of the apartment that same day. He was forced to pay the whole rent on the apartment she abandoned, and he's suing her here and now for the extra $1,912.50 he had to shell out. This is the defendant, Danielle Maria Luft. She says she was horrified when she came home one day and walked into the apartment she shared with the plaintiff and caught him in the middle of having sex with another girl. The plaintiff came into her room half naked, wanting to talk, and she knew right then, no way she was going to continue to live with him a minute longer. His actions made it impossible for her to reside there, and for that reason, she owes him nothing. She's accused of leaving a boyfriend high and dry.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
Douglas Andrew Pence, you are suing Danielle Marie Luft, your former girlfriend, for $1,912.50, representing 3 months' rent because she walked out on your one-year lease. What happened?
We basically started seeing each other, and
How long were you seeing each other before you decided to move in together?
Since August, so
I don't
about
know
6
months.
how long that is. So how long?
6 months, I think, Your Honor.
6 months, and you decided to move in together? Okay.
Yes. And once we moved in, we signed a lease, and the relationship kind of went south. We broke up on and off between March and May about 5 times.
So when did the lease start?
January.
Okay, and you broke up between March and May, how many times?
4 or 5.
Okay, and then what happened?
The summer, we kind of split apart. We moved into separate rooms. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom place.
The lease was supposed to go all the way to the end of December.
End of January.
End
the
of
next
January, okay.
And so we decided to live in separate rooms and try and make things work. And she had moved on, and I pretty much was by myself that summer. And then in the fall, that's when I found somebody else. And
Was she dating anybody?
on and off, she was seeing other people. I don't know if it was she would consider dating.
I'm just kind of curious. You guys were going to continue to live together even though you guys had broken up?
That's not true.
Well, but you didn't move out until much later.
No, every time I broke up with him, he begged me to stay and work on it and work on things, and I agreed. And actually, towards the end of the summer, I thought that maybe the big problems I thought were big may not be so big. And
what were the problems?
He secluded himself in a computer room for 8 hours at a time and
That's
played
a problem.
computer
That's a big
games.
problem.
Yeah,
That's
so it
a
made me
sign.
distance myself from him, and that's not true about separate rooms all summer. We were together and working on things all summer.
Okay.
And I wasn't dating anybody else.
All right.
I hung out
How
with
old are
people.
you, if you don't mind my asking?
29.
How old are you?
31.
Okay, so go on.
So come, was it September? He asked me if he could have a group of lab partners over for school to do a lab project. And then
Come September, when he asked you that question, were you already dating anybody else?
asked me what, no.
No.
I wasn't
According to
dating
him, you
anybody else.
dated different people on and off, casually.
That's not true. I hung out with one person a couple times, so he was a friend that I had known for a long time.
All right, so but did you guys, okay, were you guys broken up in September?
According to him, but we were off and on and working on things. We were never officially broken up. He slept in that room more nights than not. He slept with
In
me.
your room?
Yeah, we did everything like boyfriend and girlfriend that summer.
Okay.
Living together, having
But
dinners
by September,
together.
were you broken up?
Everything had been the same.
He loves you, he's begging you to stay,
Yeah.
he this, he that, and then he brings another girl over? It's not jiving.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be a lab partner. And when he ended up bringing just her up, and he had already told me that they liked each other, and she liked him, and he liked her. And when I saw just her come in, I was flabbergasted and left, came back. The apartment was dark, and at that point, I was pissed off that he brought her in, and decided since my pillow was in his room, or the room that he was supposedly sleeping in all summer, I went to get the pillow, opened the door, and found them
You
naked.
opened the door to his bedroom?
Well, it wasn't officially his bedroom. I thought nobody was home. He was sleeping in my room most of the summer with me.
Right, but you didn't open the door to your bedroom. You opened the door to his bedroom,
Yeah,
where you
because
never slept, where only he would sleep, where he was obviously sleeping because it was nighttime, the apartment was dark.
It was like
you
8
opened
o'clock.
Listen, lady, listen. Do not snow a person who
just
knows how to
pissed.
snow. You were angry. You're like, oh my God, did he go into that room with her? So you opened up the door because I figured out my pillow was in there. And what'd you do?
I was pissed at that point.
What were they doing?
They were having sex. They were
Flagrante delicto. You caught them right in mid-act.
Yeah, and I had been home for a half hour and he heard the door slam, so he continued to do whatever he was doing.
Goodness.
After he knew I was home.
Okay, and?
I went in there to get my pillow. Honestly,
did you get your pillow?
I was pissed off that my pillow was in there and that he had it. I said, that's it, separate rooms from now on. Took the pillow.
Wait, while she's naked right there?
No, this was before I went in the room. I decided the pillow was in there. I'm going to get it. I didn't think he was home. Went in to get the pillow and found out.
What was the pillow doing in there if you and he were sleeping in the other room?
He didn't have any good pillows, and that night before he probably slept in there. I think he took it in there that day.
So this was a pillow that you didn't sleep with every night, just a pillow you had loaned him earlier.
No, he kind of just took it.
Okay, but it's not a pillow. It wasn't the pillow you sleep with. You really just went in there because you wanted to go in there. You caught him, and then what happens? You walk. Do you say anything?
I didn't know what to say, so I walked out, walked into the other room, shut the door.
You didn't say a word?
No, I was speechless. Shocked.
How could you be speechless? You walked in there to catch him and you caught him. Oh, I could think of so many things
Trust
to say.
me. From the other room, I yelled everything so the other girl
What'd you
couldn't hear
say?
me. I said, get your slut and you out of here.
And then?
And then he came in to talk to me naked with my blanket wrapped around him to talk about it.
Are you serious? You came out to talk to her naked with her blanket wrapped around you?
I never meant for her to see that, Your Honor.
Well, I should hope not, but according to her, there's a whole half hour that she's slamming things and you know she's there. But then, I'm not sure that's true. But then you wrap her blanket around you and walk over to her. Wait, let me explain. Like naked?
It was a spur of the moment.
Couldn't put on a pair of shorts?
I honestly, I really felt bad, and
but it was your room. You couldn't put on a pair of shorts. How do you think that made her feel when you walked out naked with her blanket on you?
I guess you're right, Your Honor. I mean, hindsight is definitely.
So go on. What happens next?
A couple days later, I decided to move out. I didn't need to stay there.
Did you guys talk during those couple of days?
Barely.
So
he begged me to forgive him, but I said no.
To forgive him and go back with him, or forgive him and just finish being a roommate?
Both. He wanted me to stay with him.
Did you beg her to forgive you?
I asked her to forgive my actions because
No, did you want to get back with her?
No.
Were you dating her when this happened?
No. I hadn't been dating her officially since May.
Okay, so when she says we were working on it, you guys were just kind of roommates with benefits?
Yes, Your Honor, on and off, but I would say even less benefits than would be implied.
Whose choice was that, the on and off part?
I wanted to try and make things work, Your Honor.
So you think you liked her more than she liked you?
It seems that way.
So did you bring that girl into your room in order to wake her up?
No, I was over her by that point, Your Honor.
Okay, so you apologized for your actions and you asked her to stay and what?
I didn't ask her to stay. I just asked her to talk about it.
Okay.
I wanted to have a discussion because
Okay, so she moves out, and then now you're suing her because there's 3 months left on the rent. So you don't feel that bad. All right, so he's suing you for $1,900, and your reason for why you don't have to pay it is what? Because see, there's two contracts with the lease agreement. One is the contract the two of you have with the landlord. That's not the contract in front of me. Mm-hmm. The other one is the verbal contract between two parties that they're going to rent the place for a year. Mm-hmm. And the year includes November, December, January. So what is your response to the lawsuit?
During the course of the summer, while we were trying to work things out and make it a possible living arrangement, we agreed that we wouldn't bring anybody upstairs into the apartment, and that was his agreement, his statement or question, and I agreed.
Okay. Did you guys agree during the summer and the off moments that neither side would bring somebody up?
No.
Okay, and you say yes. Do you have any emails or texts or anything that
No, that's a blunt lie that he didn't say that, but.
Okay. Well, let's assume that you and I are roommates. And I tell you I will only stay your roommate if you don't eat cheese. Mm-hmm. And then you eat cheese. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I have a legal right to?
Yes.
Yes.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Could you live in the same place as someone you just broke up with?
No.
Why?
Because you've just been in a big fight and you'll be mad at each other.
Yeah, but not necessarily a fight. It doesn't always end that way.
I mean, yeah, it could end good, but I doubt it, It's girls,
Oh, it's the girl. Yeah. It's not you.
No.
You don't know Jack. What do you think?
It would be too complicated just running into them in the hallways, and then it would just be odd. It wouldn't be a good.
You just wouldn't. Anybody do it? Anybody would do it? Nobody would do it. Going inside the courtroom.
You ate cheese, and therefore I'm not going to pay rent.
Yes. If the contract for the apartment was a verbal agreement, then so was the verbal agreement that he wanted me to.
Well, if you can prove it, though, he says that he didn't say it. Did you ever bring anybody up there?
No.
Did she ever bring anybody up there?
Not that I know, Your Honor.
And did you say you were together when he brought that girl up there, or you were not together?
Off and on all summer. I mean, we were.
I didn't ask that question. I asked if in September when he brought that girl up, were you together or were you broken up?
In my eyes.
Don't think about what's going to help your case. Just be honest, because then I start not trusting you.
I thought I would stay with him until December, and thought that maybe if we stayed together and worked on it till December, things would be better and we would end up back together by December.
Okay, so you weren't together when he brought a girl to his room and you barged in and caught him. How does that look? I think it's crappy, and I would move out. The question, though, is would there be a cost to my moving out? I don't want to live with somebody who I think doesn't love me and is going to hurt me. Mm-hmm. But by the same token, I also know that I have a lease with him. So I'm not suggesting you should have stayed living there. If you don't want to live there, don't. I'm suggesting who needs to eat it and how much do they need to eat. Because you're the one who's backing out of it, and it's not I disagree with you. If you make an unreasonable demand, that doesn't magically turn your unreasonable demand into non-habitability. Okay, you have a right to not pay rent if all of a sudden the place is made uninhabitable. Your feelings do not make a place uninhabitable. Mm-hmm. Him being insensitive does not make the place uninhabitable. I agree with you. I think it's really low of a man to be living with his ex-girlfriend under strange circumstances where people are trying to maybe possibly work on it or not, but no matter what, it's still your ex-girlfriend. And bring a girl up there. Go somewhere else to do the nasty. You don't need to do it under her nose, on her pillow, with her blanket. But does it make it uninhabitable? I don't think it does. But why would she have to pay 3 whole months? You have a responsibility as a plaintiff in a case to mitigate your damages, and that means find another roommate. What efforts did you make to find another roommate?
I asked kids at school.
Yeah, did you post it anywhere?
No, I didn't post it.
Okay.
I did.
It's not much of an effort. So what ended up happening? You lived alone for those 3 months?
I did.
And at any point in time during those 3 months, did you ask her for rent?
I did.
And what did she say?
She said, hell no.
I think that was measured on your part. Okay. What was the rent? $637.50 a person? Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that after 1 month, you could have found a roommate. And you chose not to, I guess, by just spoke about it around in school. That's not the same as actually looking for a roommate. So I'm going to order her to pay 1 month of rent, which would be $637.50. Verdict for the plaintiff. That's my judgment.
And with that, the defendant joins us in the hallway. Come on over here, right here, face this way. So you have to pay for 1 month, okay? Mm-hmm. That's the ruling. What's your reaction to that?
I'm happy about it.
Yeah? Why?
He wanted to pay all $1,900, but I didn't live there and didn't feel I need to pay.
I know, okay. So the 1 month that you do have to pay, the $637, was that worth it for the gesture of walking out and leaving him like that way?
Yes.
Is that worth it?
Yes.
Well, there's no way that you would ever considered maybe sticking it out?
Hell no.
Right? You better without him, you mean?
Hell yeah.
Okay. We hear you. All right. Pretty clear there. All right, step in here. Do you miss her?
No, not at all.
No?
No.
You didn't make enough of an effort to mitigate your damages, says the judge.
I disagree. I mean, if they had been allowed to participate more, I would have put forth the fact that I'm a full-time student doing a double engineering major, and it's not really plausible for me to
post something.
Well, it's not really plausible for me to put in the effort to post it correctly and get the response that I would do. Mm-hmm. But
therefore,
honestly,
not enough effort. That's what I said.
I guess.
Okay, Harvey.
So here's the deal. You have a duty, a legal duty to mitigate damages. That means you can't sit on your hands. You have to go out and see if you can find another roommate, at least take reasonable steps. And if you don't do that, you're not going to get any damages. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.